Hello. I know it's getting old. It is. It's getting old. All this, you know, Seahawk people need to just move on with the world. Most of us are, except I just got my Super Bowl paraphernalia today. I now have 2 flags on my car, a bumper sticker on my car, another bumper sticker on my fridge that isn't peeled because eventually it'll find a home, and then I have a smaller bumper sticker that's going to go on my motorcycle. So anyway, I wrote something today. It's not something super cool. It's just something that I had this stuff in my head and I decided to write it down. It's kind of me attempting to be, you know, whatever. I also had somebody write me that Nunya Baznus, yes, wrote me a comment that I'm going to comment on after I read this. Okay. I am sorry. You know, I write so much better than I read. It's just frustrating. Okay, let's try this again. I am an empty slate. I am just newly born. I have no parent, no institution, no society telling me what I should believe. There is no pressure to conform. I perceive my world and base my beliefs entirely on what I see and experience. The reality of the world is very clear and all around me. That which I am taught, I test and I research until I am satisfied that it is true. If the ground looks unstable, I test it first with my foot. Sure enough, it is unstable. So then I decide from that to step in another place. If I am told the air is stale, I breathe the air and taste how bad it is on my tongue. From this I confirm for myself that the air is stale. In this way I experience my world and what is real, and I learn from those experiences, and I come to believe things about my world. I use all my senses, personally experiencing that which teaches me about my world and my existence here. Now you come and ask me why your God isn't on my slate. You know, the one that was empty when I was born that I've filled up with my experiences. I try to explain why. Unlike the broken ground or the polluted air, your God has not in any way presented himself. It has not been his priority to enter or affect my reality in any way. At least the ghost I think I encountered made the air freezing cold on my face. Your God hasn't even done that. Why should I bother worrying about something that has never made any impression on my world? Until he does, I see no reason to entertain the notion he is a part of this world. Not like the rocks are, or the air, or the river behind my house, not like the little dog that barks when I get home. Your God doesn't even make the water ripple on the surface of a puddle. Really, what is your God to me? Why do you think he should matter even a little? He is nothing, useless. Even the air I breathe serves a purpose and has a reason. It gives life, and it moves the branches in the trees, and it sails a boat. Your God does nothing. I cannot test in any way to experience his existence. He doesn't exist. He is not on my slate. Until you show me something, anything, that makes him exist, like everything else in the world I experience, taste and touch and test and learn from, he is nothing and not my concern. He simply does not exist. There you go. My attempt. I just felt kind of artsy-fartsy this afternoon at work, so I wrote that at lunch. Okay, so anyway, let the mood, you know, okay, yeah, okay, we're back to normal, okay. So this Nunya Baznous writes me. Oh, I have to first say, he wrote this out under my video, An Atheist Proves Unicorns Don't Exist. It was actually a little field venture that I did this summer. I went out because, you know, Christians tell atheists that we need to prove that God doesn't exist. So, you know, I thought I'd try to prove something much smaller than God doesn't exist first. And if I, you know, kind of testing the waters to see how difficult it is actually to prove that something that doesn't exist, I thought I'd give it a try. So I thought, you know, unicorns are a hell of a lot easier, I would think, than God. So I tried it out with unicorns, and I went on a little expedition to try to find evidence that unicorns don't exist, and actually managed to prove that they don't exist. Anyway, so he writes under that video, I typed in talkunicorn.org and nothing showed up. Also, there doesn't seem to be any YouTube channel called The Amazing Unicorns. And there doesn't seem to be any books on Amazon called The Unicorn Delusion. Then I guess your argument is complete fucking bullshit, isn't it? Because if you really were an atheist, you would in fact treat God the exact same as unicorns, leprechauns, Loch Ness, or any of the other 2 million things you don't believe in. So, he apparently doesn't think I'm an atheist. He thinks that, you know, because I'm constantly defending myself on the subject of God, must mean that God exists. I have a hard time believing people like this exist. So here's what I wrote back, my witty response. Unicorn believers do not treat unicorn skeptics like shit the way Christians in general treat atheists and other people who don't believe as they do. The 2 million other things I don't believe in don't have arrogant dicks running around constantly telling me that I'm a bad, evil, horrible person for not believing in those 2 million other things, or that I deserve to be tortured forever for not believing in those 2 million other things. Only Christianity creates jerks like you. If your ilk would only fucking leave atheists alone, there would not be channels like mine, or The Amazing Atheist, or all the other atheists who feel the need to set the record straight that no, we are not bad people. And yes, people can be good without your vile, disgusting God. You judge a whole group of people as evil, then get all upset when those people try to defend what and who they are. Stop preaching, and maybe you wouldn't have angry people getting tired of your patronizing, condescending, arrogant assumptions that only you can truly be good. Fuck that. It isn't true. I'm sorry. Because atheists defend the fact that they don't believe in a God loudly and often arrogantly, angrily, does not make your God exist. I don't get people who believe in unicorns knocking on my door, shoving tracts in my face, telling me, have you found unicorns? I don't get that. I don't get people constantly during the holiday season telling me that I'm celebrating the holiday season wrong because I'm not saying the word unicorn enough. I don't get unicorn believers putting monuments in public places that, you know, and then getting angry when I want to put a monument about what I think in the same public place. I don't get unicorn believers trying to tell little children that they're vile, evil born horrible people unless they believe in unicorns. I don't get unicorn believers basically spreading this idea that the planet is temporary and we'll get something better when we die and we don't really have to care too much about how we treat the planet. I don't get that. The unicorn believers aren't telling people that they can't get married because, you know, some book says that they can't get married. Unicorn believers don't stand at abortion clinics and try to kill doctors who want to simply render decent health care for women, or try to kill women for simply not wanting to have a baby. Like that's somehow a bad thing in a world that is as fucking overpopulated as this one. Oh, we want to... I just saw something today. I think it's just a joke, but I mean, maybe it isn't. I don't know, but some state that has made masturbation a crime, like sperm is suddenly now, we can't even waste any sperm. Do you know how overpopulated this planet is? Unicorn believers don't spread this fucking message that we have to continue to treat human life like, oh my gosh, we have to have as many babies as we can. We can't waste one single egg or one single sperm when the planet is starving, when there are people on this planet starving to death because there's so many humans and not enough resources to feed everybody, and yet this fucking religion is trying to encourage women to not have abortions and not practice birth control so we can pump out even more babies. You know, really. I'm sorry, but unicorn believers don't hurt the planet. Unicorn believers don't trash children's self-esteem. Unicorn believers don't cause they don't cause division. They don't I'm trying to think. They don't practice intolerance against other people. They don't attack people and tell people they're evil and bad, or threaten people with dire consequences if they don't believe the same things. I'm sorry, but there is absolutely no comparison between unicorn believers and Christians. Your religion creates people like us. And yeah, we turn around and we defend ourselves and we get angry and we try to point out, we try to hold a mirror up and say, look what you look like to other people. This is how you come across to people who don't believe as you do. This is what you look like to other people. You don't like it? You want to say that we don't exist? Oh, somehow this is proving that we believe in your God. You know what? We don't. And what a sad, pathetic way of getting around trying to show your fucking God exists. Why don't you show he exists? You know, instead of attacking instead of attacking atheists, instead of attacking people who don't believe as you do, when you provide absolutely no fucking evidence to show that your beliefs are true compared to all the other beliefs there are, why don't you get off your fucking ass, stop praying, and go out there and prove the existence of your God? You know, there's actually some guy on the internet, you can Google it, who is, for like 10 years, has been offering a large sum of money for anybody to prove some way, in some testable, reproducible way, that God exists. Not a single person has been able to do that. You think somebody would like to have that $1 million, or how much it is, however much it is? I would. Anyway, don't you want to have that money? Go out and prove God exists. Be nice if some fucking Christian would, instead of just, oh, you just gotta read this book. Anyway, this has turned into a rant, but I'm sorry, this person is just, you know, it's like, really? There's no comparison. I'm sorry, unicorn believers don't attack other people and look down their noses at other people and, oh, I know there's a God. Well, I just know there's a God. I'm sorry. It just gets so old. And I'm tired of this rant now. I've ranted myself actually to the point where I'm tired of ranting. So, That's my response to Nunya Bazus. You know, I do. Baznous. I really love saying his name. Nunya Baznous. It sounds very, I don't know. Nunya Baznous. Anyway. So that's all. Just me having a little rant fest at somebody that I think is kind of stupid and clueless and whatever. Again, if you've been watching, thanks. Bye!